Good evening, fellow students, brothers and sisters, delegates, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Permit me to first mention the name of God, Allah, He who continues to bestow mercy on our healing union, the National Union of Ghana Students. To my brothers and sisters, delegates who have openly shared in the revolution dream thus far, and even to those who are yet to, I humbly appeal to your resolve once more, even as I thank you for sharing in the efforts to restore hope and progress to our student movement after over 53 years of self-discovery. Indeed, the sounds of our Luther shall never fade until our beloved union lives again. Brothers and sisters, nothing has changed except that I shall contest for the General Secretary of our union this year. I drive to ensure that students are treated with utmost respect by government and all sector players is still vision and mission, and has even received a new policy direction and dimension through my quest to be the General Secretary. I resolve to insisting on educational rights, social welfare and social capital as students can even be boosted through this bid. This decision is to ensure that my little experience in the social sciences, which directly speaks to the mandates of the General Secretary as captured in Chapter 5, Article 41 of the NUGS Constitution, is hereby channeled rightly to serve the good of our brothers and sisters. As we seek to lead, the caution has always been to avoid possible lapses in some critical positions, here in context, the General Secretary position. Why now and why NUGS General Secretary? Some would ask. Delegates, ladies and gentlemen, over the past years, there has been the temptation for aspirants to overly focus on the presidency during such race. This year seems to walk same path. As I speak, there are about 7 presidential aspirants in this race, that's notwithstanding my potentials to make impact despite the numbers. But it is important to note critically that these presidential aspirants ironically share in the same vision for the union, whilst there are few or no aspirants in other relevant offices, some of which have been compelled to run for these square holes because of the neglect of vital positions. We observe that this might be a case of redundancy and may cause an imbalanced competence in some equally sensitive and strategic net positions like the National General Secretary. Furthermore, delegates, during our visit and interactions with our brothers and sisters across Ghana, there were several calls by our colleague students to shift attention to the National General Secretary portfolio. These calls grew louder and louder each day. It was a cry by the masses and a genuine call to place myself strategically to ensuring that my little expertise in activism and advocacy are ensured in the next leadership. Therein then shall the demands to government be constantly heard and upheld. We saw and heard of the call and need to complement the efforts of other aspirants, especially the next president of the union, with my former training in area of advocacy, policy drafting and communications. Ladies and gentlemen, we have learned through this process that service must not be selective. It shouldn't be choosy of what job to render to humanity and which one not to. Through careful counsel, suggestions and studies, I respond to the call of the masses whom I seek to lead and take a practical step to decentralizing the competence of our union. By this step, I hereby rescind my decision of contesting the presidency and rather identify an area that lacks much focus and one that seeks and speaks directly to the advocacy and administrative efficiency of the union we wish to see live again. Delegates, humbly with your endorsement, the Revolution Team 2017 have listened to the calls from the masses to serve. We now settle on General Secretary. But this decision is not only because of the healthy and legitimate calls from colleague brothers and sisters, but also because of the recognition and endorsement of what I could offer should I serve as the National General Secretary. As demanded by servant leadership and leadership of the people, I have learned to listen to only the masses in whom the right to choose lies. By this, I wish to humbly challenge the status quo of hunger and thirst for power, less responsiveness of aspirants to sometimes the voice of the masses, and also to add my humble voice to the call for more square pegs to be put in square holes, and not otherwise. Delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and the media, we are reminded by the promise of revolution this year. This timeless creed has not changed even as we now focus on the National General Secretary portfolio. I look to complement the vision of the next president, but I shan't compromise on the hope and resolve of strong advocacy, close media alliance, research and critical policy proposals as I have promised today. So help me God. Collectively, we can work together to see our union live again through strong advocacy and unyielding one. I hereby inform you as a key stakeholder in this hope and dream of my intentions to serve you as the National Secretary of NUGS this year. With your humble support, the struggle shall see a new phase this year. A humble black salute to you. A luta continua. NUGS can live again with the collective effort of this generation. We have challenges, and we strongly believe that putting ourselves together and resources to be able to make history can be the way forward. My name is Kabu Nartey, and I stand as an aspirant of the National General Secretary this year of the National Union of Ghana Students. Hopefully, with the support from you, it is possible that our union again can live. Thank you so much for the audience.